really almost should. I don't know if the viewer wants to watch me stretch. Probably, I would guess the viewer probably doesn't want to watch me stretch in the morning. I mean, even when I'm editing the videos, I barely want to watch me stretch. Sometimes I'll say something good during my stretching. Good morning, Chip. Oftentimes I'll say something good during my stretching. Somehow, some way, no matter what I'm doing, occasionally some good content falls out of my mouth. Blah. Not sure why. The gift of gab, evangelism, natural talker, salesman, diarrhea of the mouth. For some reason, somehow, every once in a while, something of value comes out. So, hello, John McCain. Hello, Dave Smith. Hello, Free Bird. And good morning. And good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It is October 4th. It is just after 6 a.m. Let's call it 6:02 a.m. Happy Friday. This is a show I have been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some experiences, sharing a little bit about life, sharing the journey that we are on. It's a show that means a lot to me. A show that periodically I want to throw in the towel in and say, I've had enough. Been working at it for 5.5 years and clawing and scratching my way, and it's growing and this and that. It's kind of like life. It's a little mini version of life. Sometimes in life we feel we can't keep going. We don't want to do it anymore. Why isn't life easier? Kind of felt that way yesterday. Maybe we'll touch on that later today or later this morning. But for those that have been watching a while, let's fast forward my show a little bit. For those that have been watching a while, it is not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, it is also a show. Sorry, I'm going to slide my phone back. I'm going to try to create a little bit of space. Create a little bit of space so you can see my coffee cup better. It's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee. It's going to be extra strong this morning. Took it out of the pot when the pot was, certainly not done. Not even close to done. But either way, and maybe because of, maybe in spite of, I'm super excited to have my very first sip this morning. And my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's the pumpkin spice, and it's delicious. It is delicious. Oh, still hear the pot gurgling behind me. That's how soon I took it out. There was maybe 2 cups in the bottom of the coffee pot. It is good and chock full of pumpkin spice flavor. Hey, Wolfish, thank you so much for following the live creator. Thank you so much for following the live creator. Feels good to me when somebody cares enough to follow the live creator, whatever their motive is. Sometimes I like to be able to control people's motives. You get people that love your content, hate your content, people that for whatever reason want to tune in or looking for something different or looking for politics or looking for lack of politics. But right now I want to thank you so much for following The Live Creator, because I really enjoy doing this show and it feels good watching it grow a little bit. And I go live every morning here on TikTok. I guess here on TikTok, somewhere between 5 and 7 a.m. Kind of targeted 6 a.m. today. I thought maybe if I was going to do a real coffee show, a professional podcast, and have a start time, 6 a.m. might be a great time to do it. What do you guys think? What would be the perfect time to start your show, to start my show, to start this show? I think 6 a.m. would be good when people are walking around, waking up, having their first cup of coffee, kind of joining me. Probably a lot of people out there that live alone, like me. Maybe that miss their kids, miss their wife, miss their husband, I don't know, missing something. And find a little bit of joy drinking a cup of coffee every morning, and don't want to feel alone when they do it. So here's to you, if that's you. Oh, Ricky T is on cup 1. Me too, Ricky T. Way to go. Way to go, Ricky T. Oh. Yesterday was a day for me. Last night was kind of a night for me. I was going to kind of try and find a word to describe the day and the night. Just one word. Couldn't really do it. But I felt I had doubts creeping in and negative thoughts creeping in and almost like throwing the towel in on something I'm fighting very hard for right now, and like giving up and letting go, and not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready to do that yet, but it left me with a lot on my mind, and I don't think letting go or giving up or I think I don't like conflict in this world. I don't like fights. I don't like arguments. I don't like people that like fights or arguments or conflict, but they're out there. And I like to imagine the world's always a huggy, feely, smiley, encouraging, happy, kind place. Sometimes it doesn't go quite that way. And every once in a while, I'd rather, again, avoid issues. But every once in a while, I think it's important to stand up for what's right and what you believe in and what you know is right. Even if it puts you in a very uncomfortable spot. And, yeah. And I think that's where I'm headed right now. And I think in a perfect world, I wouldn't need to be headed in that direction. And everyone would see eye to eye, and everyone would act, I mean, honestly, just the way I wanted them to act. But I know that's not going to happen. Because we're all different people. And not everybody thinks and sees the world like I do, or you do, or we do. And we all do things differently. And, yeah, so. Hello, R. Tom. How are you today? I was editing a video last night, and it was kind of nice. It was a long video. I'm about 4 or 5 weeks behind on my video editing. Somebody suggested I don't use these lives yesterday as content. But I think that'd be a big mistake. I think in each live, there's a lot of great content that I can cut into shorts, reels, and TikToks, some of which get seen millions of times. maybe had 2 videos be seen millions of times, but several of them, or many of them, be seen hundreds of thousands of times. And so I don't think that would be prudent. I think half the reason I do these lives is to create content for my shorts, reels, and TikTok. So I think it's important I keep editing the videos, and I'm about 4 or 5 weeks behind. And about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I did a real long Coffee with Ken show where I talked for like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that. And there's gaps in there where I'm just kind of talking about, I don't know, sky being blue, or being thankful for my ceiling or my roof over my head, or whatever I was talking about. But there was a section in there where people were asking me pretty good questions kind of every few minutes. And I was answering the questions. And my answer was interesting. And it might not be your answer or somebody else's answer or somebody that's going to watch the video today. And one was about, did I ever want to go to the gym every day and get jacked, which means really ripped or muscly. And another one was something about weight loss. And then there was one about, how do I stay so disciplined? And I think my answers to them are kind of interesting. Even I find them, and they're my answers. Maybe, again, I'm biased. And I don't know, maybe find me more interesting than you find me. But I liked it. And it felt good. And it felt like I was being interviewed by the audience. Good morning, Frozen Land. It felt like I was being interviewed by the audience. And my answers were kind of funny. And a lot of people want me to do a podcast and interview people. Or I don't know if a lot of people do, but I get suggested that a lot. And I just don't really feel like wanting it. I don't want to do it. What I want to do is grab some coffee in the morning, push live on the social media platform, and start talking. I like that. I like that. And I don't want to have to go to a studio or set up an appointment where I'm sitting down with somebody and saying, okay, how did you get into politics? How did you become an interior designer? Tell me what your thoughts are on fashion or whatever. And I don't think I'd find any joy in that. I don't think I'd find any meaning or any purpose or any reason to keep doing it. And without me finding joy in what I'm doing and meaning and purpose and feeling like it makes a difference, this show wouldn't go on. But I do feel like this show makes a difference. It certainly makes a difference for me. And occasionally it seems to make a difference for those that are watching. So that's why the show goes on. Hello from Thailand. Do I like iced coffee? When it's hot outside, but I generally drink it black. Frozen Land says, what I'm doing right now is great in itself. Well, thank you. Thank you. You should see how many people watch my show every day and then tell me what else how I should do something different. So strange. So strange. OTN James. It is the pumpkin spice. So anyway, I kind of had that weighing on me, and I get my typical noise, and I post this video all over, or these videos all over, and 1 out of 10 says something weirdly mean to me. And it's kind of always been my ratio in life. Most people seem to like me pretty much. Some really do, and some really dislike me. Started thinking about it. With that ratio, if I just put myself out there in front of more people, maybe the show would work somehow. But what I forgot and what I didn't understand is that the people that really don't like me have a voice too. And will say things as well. In one way or the other, I've had to learn to get a thicker skin and ignore the critics or the negativity or the what have you, and focus on, I don't know, everything I talk about every day. Gratitude, prayer, doing the right thing, being the best we can, moving forward every day. And I don't know. I think this is a key part of it. Somehow it keeps me going. Let's have a little more coffee. Frozen Land suggests I should try the pumpkin spice creamer from Starbucks. It pairs really well. Perhaps I should. But I generally don't put creamer in my coffee. I certainly don't at home. And I think once you get hooked on creamer, it can almost ruin you for coffee. It can almost ruin you for coffee because then you're almost drinking it for the creamer and you forget the coffee just for the coffee's sake. And if you're out of creamer at home, that's almost as catastrophic as being out of coffee or coffee filters or any of the absolute imperative ingredients you need for your coffee. And for me, I don't want creamer to be absolutely necessity for me to get my morning started. Because sometimes when you're shopping, you'll forget the creamer. Every once in a while, you forget the coffee filters. You should never forget the coffee. I should pair it with a nice pumpkin muffin. It's funny. I work in a restaurant that sells alcohol and we sell wine. And I don't drink anymore, and I used to drink a lot. I stopped about 3 years ago. And people ask me my favorite drink or my favorite wine or what it pairs with. Even when I drank, I never had that sensitive of a palate, if you will, to say, oh, this wine pairs great with chicken Alfredo, let's say, or whatever. Or our lasagna, or chocolate cake. I just don't get it. It doesn't work. I used to work at an Italian restaurant, and now I do understand. But I used to have people ask, and I was raised with a mother that didn't cook very well, and I did a lot of cooking for myself, but my mother tried real hard and fought hard and did her best to put food on the table for her 4 kids. And because of that, I don't think I have a sensitive palate. And Not Originals having K-Cups. We've talked about K-Cups. Rhubarb wine pairs well with fresh fries. I've never heard about rhubarb wine. Our Tom looks like he's upset, and he says he might not tune in anymore. That's okay, our Tom. I don't know why you're upset, but if you don't want to tune in anymore, don't. Bean says it's Friday. It is. Did I put Thursday on the did I put Thursday on the thing? I'll have to change that when I post it. It is Friday. Well, bye, Tom. I hope your life's a happy one, too. But anyway, I was working in an Italian restaurant about 20 years ago, and somebody was asking me, like, what pasta goes well with what sauce. And I didn't know at all. I always kind of looked at pasta as pasta. That just kind of, and I didn't understand, and I'm still not totally sure why certain pastas go better with certain sauces. You know? Because pasta is kind of pasta. I mean, there's different thicknesses and certainly different shapes. And I would always suggest, because I always liked angel hair, no matter what they sauce, I go, I love it with angel hair. But my palate developed, and I started to see why certain people, or, maybe you'd want a certain sauce with a certain pasta. Will Bill Chill says, ice cream goes well with cake. That's all I know. You're right, Will Bill Chill. It does. I'm not sure. Maybe that's it for me. Maybe that's it for me. I don't know that I like my food mixing that much. I think I would rather have the ice cream, like a bowl of ice cream, or a whole tub in my case. Like, I might have to go on a diet. We don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'd rather have a bowl of ice cream and then a piece of cake than both them on the same plate or bowl. Yeah. I mean, I think some things go really well. Like, if I had a nice warm brownie and a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of it, that sounds delicious to me. But the thought of the little cake crumbs getting mixed in with my vanilla ice cream, I don't know if I find that appealing. I'm not suggesting, Will Bill, that you shouldn't find that appealing. Because you do you. You do you. Hi, Christine. Thank you for joining. Rob is kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies. I got a guy named Rob who commented how nice my smile was, and then he suggested we communicate on a different platform. No, thank you, Rob. No, thank you. Hello, Christine. How are you? Got a nice audience today. We usually get a pretty nice audience on TikTok. I think that's why I go live on TikTok. That and because, honestly, it was kind of where I started. I mean, I officially started Coffee with Ken 5.5 years ago, but I got serious about it coming up. It'll be 3 years in a month. And it's when my friend's daughter introduced me to TikTok and said, hey, you should put this content that you're putting over here on TikTok. You'll get a lot bigger audience. I remember the first 2 months, I would post my videos. I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember every other day I'd pick up one. And I remember when I hit 40-some followers and how it going, hey, slow and steady wins the race. I'm still slow and steady. I'm still not explosive. I still don't go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I wasn't a sprinter in high school or college. I was a long-distance runner. Maybe it means something until it says how I'm programmed or trained or why I do things the way I do. Because I do think slow and steady wins the race. My visit with my kids yesterday was great. I hadn't seen them in a little while. I went down where my ex-wife lives and met them at a playground and spent a couple hours with them, and it was really nice. It's always hard leaving. It's always hard saying goodbye, but I hope to see them again real soon. But it was nice and it was fun and they were cute and they were running around and Augie just likes running. I think he feels he's escaping and he'll get into a little open field and he's coming up on 3.5. And for those that don't know, my son Augie, he has Down syndrome and he's my little nugget of love. And, just all toddlers have a way about them. But just watching him run with his little arms going like this, and then watching Eve run kind of like a princess with her kind of run on her toes. It's cute. Eve's a brave little girl. She was making her mama nervous. She'd climb up on the tallest slide and go down the fastest slide, and her mama was a little uncomfortable with that. Her dada thought it was cool. Let's have a little more coffee. But it was really nice. Thank you for asking. It was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Didn't have to work last night, and but have a little more coffee. You mind if I get another cup? I hope not, because I'm gonna. It's interesting. I was editing a few videos during the night, and I posted the videos. Sometimes it helps me go back to sleep. And sometimes the message of the video I'm editing seems to resonate with the feelings I'm going through in the middle of the night. And I'll talk about, maybe 4 weeks ago, the video I'm editing, we'll talk about gratitude or going through hard times or getting through it or persevering or whatever. And at that moment, I will need that message. And it feels really good when I do. Last night, while I was editing a couple videos, I don't think any of them gave me a special warm, fuzzy feeling to what I was going through at that moment. But I did post them, and they did fairly well on social media. And that's always rewarding to see. Also got a nice message from somebody somewhere during the night that gave me some peace when I needed it. And I forget the exact words, but I'll probably post it on Facebook a little later today, just because it was sweet and it was encouraging and it was kind, and it was from somebody that needed to hear some positive words every morning and some encouragement every morning, and therefore tunes into my show where I just talk about stuff. And they found a lot of value, and they took the time to say thank you to me for going live every morning. And it made me feel real good, because I'll tell you what, sometimes it can be lonely out there. And not lonely, I mean, I don't think I struggle with loneliness that much anymore, but doubts can creep in, and you certainly can question what you're doing or why you're doing it, or, are you, question everything. And boy, yesterday I was questioning everything. And I came back from Yellowstone for a specific purpose. And it's because my kids needed me. And although I think I'm accomplishing that, it's not going maybe as smoothly as I'd hoped. But again, life doesn't always go smoothly. And we hit bumps along the road. And sometimes those bumps we barely notice, but sometimes a bump might knock off a hubcap and give you a flat tire or something like that. And yesterday I felt like the bump was more than I wanted to keep going over, and more than I wanted to endure, and maybe I should just throw in the towel and let things fall as they may. But I don't think I'm going to. Because again, I think there's times in life that you got to stand up and fight. And I think I'm doing it for the right reason, although I questioned it yesterday. T.N. James says, loneliness is such an epidemic in this country. Yeah. I don't know. Is it because everyone's remote? I mean, I don't even know. Does anyone remote work anymore? Does everyone go into work? Or is everybody staring at their phone too much? Is everyone staring at their phone too much? Would we be better off? I don't know. Or are we all wearing our headsets too much? It's not just our phones. I mean, it's technology. It's the way things have always gone. You know, we thought that TV was the best invention in the 50s or whenever it came out, but suddenly instead of families having conversations in a room, they were staring at a TV. You know? So, Frozen Land says, it's those experiences that we find to be unpleasant are the ones that give us purpose to push. Well, Frozen Land, let me tell you, I got a lot of purpose to push. Stacy wants to know, why were you questioning my direction yesterday? Not that I really want to talk about kind of private stuff. So nothing I overly want to get into specifics. But sometimes you wonder if what you're doing, and I'll just say, I can wonder if Coffee with Ken is worthwhile. And that is not the specific purpose I'm alluding to. But sometimes I'll wonder if Coffee with Ken is worthwhile. And I'll go, should I keep going? Does it distract me from what I should be doing? Or is it positive use of my time or this or that? And sometimes I want to throw in the towel. There was something similar to that, although more important in my life, that I was questioning yesterday. And almost felt like throwing in the towel and maybe taking the easy path. And maybe taking the easy path. User says social media ruins society. Again, I think social media was probably just a step like everything else along the way. You know, there was a change in society. Maybe society wasn't as grand as we used to think it was. I picture the TV coming in and all the families sitting around watching the TV and no longer having nice conversations. Maybe they weren't really having nice conversations. Maybe the dad was yelling at the kids, or the mom was stressed, or the kids were out causing trouble. I don't know. It definitely seems strange, though, watching people look at their phone as often as they do. Or at the gym wearing headsets all the time. You know, it'd be nice. You know, you rarely see people working out together anymore. Occasionally you do. Maybe it's just a different time. I'm thinking back to when I was in college and I'd go to the gym with my buddies. And it was certainly before cell phones, and I think we probably had Walkmans and stuff like that, but they were big and uncomfortable. And the fuzzy little little ear things. Maybe it's just because I'm older now, and I think as we age, we probably don't hang out with our buddies quite as much. Spend a little more time by ourselves. Stacy Lindgren said, "This is depressing." Stacy, I think one sees what they want to see. And I think when one is looking for inspiration, they see inspiration. And when one is wanting to see sad stuff, they see sad stuff. And, so maybe you should tune into how you're feeling. Randall Jacks, thank you so much for following the live creator. I very much appreciate that. Julie Flanagan hopped on board. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. How are you? How's that man of yours? How's your fishing going? Maybe it's the time of day you go. More people work out together in the evening or weekend. Well, definitely, Stacy. I usually go to the gym earlier. I work out. I do work out in the morning, but I was going to say I work because I'm a waiter. I'm a waiter and work most nights, and work most nights. So I go in the morning when I have free time. Stacy Lindgren says the sun is shining. Let me check. It's actually not, Stacy Lindgren. The irony of your attempted optimism is false. The sun is not shining. And she also says, but geez, it's always sad content. Then why are you watching, Stacy? Why are you watching? If you feel my content is sad, why are you watching? And not only are you watching today, you say it's always sad content. Makes me wonder. Oh, there it is. There it is. Stacy Lindgren wasn't even a real account. Yeah. Wasn't even a real account. When anybody says, I'm going, oh, that's strange. They said the sun is shining. I go, that's a strange thing to say when it happens to be before the sun is up. And then I'm going, they say it's always so depressing. So they watch a lot. Yet they're complaining. And that made me kind of curious. So I peeled the layers of the onion up and looked at who that person was. And they were a troll account. At first, because it had a real name, I thought, how can I tell? When you click on them, Chip wonders, how can I tell when it's a troll account? You click on them and they have 0 subscribers and they follow nothing and they have no subscribers. In other words, they just created the account a few minutes ago. And, well, thank you, Lulu. Thank you. You go to their account, oftentimes they won't have a picture, and many times it'll be just user, and almost always they won't follow anybody, and they'll have no videos because they just created their account a couple minutes ago to harass me or other content creators. And what they were saying wasn't making sense to me because they said it's always so depressing. Thank you, Chip. We don't get those people as much on other social media platforms. You're right about that, Chip. We don't. But I think there's a power to TikTok that I think is valuable. And there's an ability to reach a really big audience. And just today on TikTok, I've had 2 new people follow my page here on TikTok just from doing my show this morning. And sometimes I might pick up 20 followers, and sometimes I might pick up none. But I usually pick up some new followers every day going live here on TikTok. Where on other social media platforms, it doesn't seem that the platforms put me in front of a new audience as much. And therefore I get the same people watching, which is nice. And I appreciate all of you that are the same. I really do. But it's nice being put in front of a newer audience as well and bringing new people into the fold. Happy Friday to you, Asian Silk Prince. Stacy said, yeah, Stacy, Julie, and Will Bill. You have a great day as well. said they don't even know how to make a video. They just like watching. Well, that's cool. I appreciate that. Somebody asked me the other day if it's easy to learn what you have to learn to post these videos and edit these videos and add music and add words and this and that. And I think the answer, if you sat down and said, here, you got to learn it all today, you'd be in a whole lot of trouble. But like everything else, if you eat it one bite at a time and learn a little bit each day and get a little bit better each day, you get a whole lot better over time. You get a whole lot better over time. But if I had to sit down and had never done a video or had never been on social media and somebody said, here you go, I'd be overwhelmed and wouldn't want to or wouldn't be able to do anything. Will Bill Chill says, no one would watch Coffee with Bill. I'll bet you're wrong. First of all, Greta G, thank you so much for following the live creator. Will Bill Chill, I bet some people would watch you. I don't know if it'd be a big audience. I don't know if it's important how big the audience is. But certainly you'd have people that would find you and what you had to say of value. And if you felt the want or the need, I would encourage you to do it. If you don't. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I promise you, each and any one of you out there that's feeling shy or feeling scared, and this doesn't just go for social media, this goes for anything. You know, this goes for anything. Do it. You know, don't let a little hesitation or some worry that nobody will watch stop you. And at the end of the day, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares if anybody watches? I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I love that you guys are watching. I appreciate when people watch my videos, like and subscribe. So when I say who cares, I care. But at the beginning of this show, I did it for me because it felt good talking and getting crud out of my system and stuff off my chest that I needed to get off my chest. And for 5.5 years, I've been doing it almost. For 2.5, almost 3 years, I said, there's something to this. This matters. It's more than just a hobby. It's more than just a way to get real estate customers. Because I was a realtor at the time. I thought maybe me being vulnerable, not only did it get stuff off my chest, I thought maybe it would be endearing to people that needed to buy and sell a home. And it was. But like everything else, people don't buy and sell homes too often. So it worked a little bit. But I think 3 years ago when I said, hey, maybe it's right after I stopped drinking. Maybe it's right after I stopped drinking. I realized my message, whatever my message might be, had value and had meaning, and not only was entertaining or voyeuristically pleasing, but I know so many people struggle with drinking. And that if I could get out there every day and put myself out there as somebody that just stopped drinking 2 weeks ago, I mean, if nothing else, there was a lot of pressure on me. I'd have a lot of explaining to do if I was hungover this morning. I think I would disappoint a lot of people. Because I think me sitting here in front of you every day saying, here I am, here's me, I'm opened up, I'm got issues, I've got struggles, but I'm handling them this way. If I would have thrown in the towel and got hammered last night, and felt cruddy this morning, I probably wouldn't go live. Now you guys are good. I'm going to take off a day. I'll be sick one day or on an airplane or something. Won't be able to go to live. Let me tell you, even if I was on an airplane, I'd find a way to go. I'd find a way to go. And, yeah. Yeah, Neon, I did not go prime time last night. Sometimes it just feels, I don't know. I think if I talk for an hour every morning, right now in my mind, I think that's the right recipe, the right amount of content a day. You know, I always could talk more, but if I talk for 2 hours or 3 times a day for an hour, I don't know. Maybe I should be doing something else, or maybe I should enjoy some quiet at home watching a movie. Or maybe it's good for me to turn off my brain from social media creation, just like it's probably good for all of us. So no, I'm not saying I won't go prime time again, but I'm saying I didn't last night, and I thought about it. But again, I had murky feelings. Murky feelings that maybe I didn't want to share, and doubts. Sometimes it feels good to share them, sometimes it doesn't. My job, well, I'm getting 2 conflicting comments. One person said, my job is to feed us more lives. It's a lot of pressure. T.N. James said, coffee in the morning sounds right. Prime time, not so much. Again, 2 different opinions. You can't please everybody. So you should stop trying. And just do what you think is right, or what you know is right. Yeah. Oh, my pumpkin spice coffee is certainly right. Tell you what, the sun is still not shining. They must have been, Stacy Lindgren, who said the sun was shining earlier, must have been somewhere very east, because it's still dark out. Neon Dion, you do you as well. I don't know what you mean, but anyway. It is Friday morning. It is Friday morning. Am I a doctor? No, I'm not a doctor. Although during the middle of the night, I posted a video on what to do if you're overweight. I did. I said in the video, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a doctor, but this has worked for me. But no, I'm not a doctor. Christine says it's raining. Is it raining? I can't tell. It's still too dark out. It's still too dark out for me to tell if it's raining. Hope it's not raining. It was such a beautiful day. I mean, if it's raining, I'll be okay. But it's such a beautiful fall day yesterday with the sun shining, and I was riding my scooter, and I went quite a ways yesterday morning. But it felt invigorating riding on a cool, crisp morning with the sun shining. Reminds me I'm going to need to get a car soon. Going to go carless as long as I can. But in the next 6 weeks or so, I'm probably really going to need a car. Or a home closer to work. Or a bus to take to work. We'll see. Where did I go? Neon, I met I talked about it earlier. I met my ex-wife close to where she's living with our 2 little ones. Chip Bott asked, will I go and watch the Chicago Marathon? No, I will not. No. I might tune in Is it this Sunday? I might tune in a little bit Sunday morning, but I might not. I still am sort of interested in running, and used to run the Chicago Marathon a lot, but yeah, I certainly don't. I don't have anybody to cheer for. I used to live right on the marathon course, and stumble out of my apartment and go, yay! Yay! As the guys flew by. The leaders are really fast. TN James wants to know if I'm a Sox or a Cubs fan. I guess I'm a Cubs fan, but I used to be what would be considered a diehard sports fan. But I've realized I have other things to do in life than cheer on people I don't know playing a game. Yeah. It's strange they broadcast the full marathon live on the radio. Well, I think with the radio, there's so many, there's a lot of spots to fill, a lot of content. And I'd be surprised how many people want to listen to the whole race live on the radio, but I think it's kind of neat that somebody does. It kind of feels old-fashioned, like when the little family was huddled around the radio listening to, I don't know, old baseball games or what have you. I don't know. Let's have a little more coffee. Again, it's Friday morning. Sun's still not shining. It's starting to get light out enough to where I can see a few clouds. But I'm excited about my day. I'm excited about my coffee. I'm excited about the fruit I have in the refrigerator, the cottage cheese I have in the refrigerator, the work I have to do tonight. It's going to be a busy day at the restaurant. Excited about the videos I'm editing, and I'm thankful for all these things. When I said excited, that's just another word I'm using for thankful, but maybe I should be saying I'm thankful for all these things. Thankful for the fruit, thankful for the roof over my head, thankful for the bed that my feet are up on, thankful for my cup of water. Obviously thankful for my cup of coffee, and I am thankful for you. And if you're out there and you're struggling, you're having a hard night, morning, week, month, year, life, find a few things you're thankful for. And when you have the negative thoughts hop in your mind, because they will and they do, think about a few things you're grateful for. And I promise you'll feel a little bit better. And again, I thank you for joining today on this Friday morning. And I hope your week is going great. I hope your morning is going great. I hope your coffee is hot and plentiful. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.